Hello, it's Christian with Peregrinus Solutions LLC. I'm back with our fifth video update regarding the masks, 3D printed masks, respiratory masks for our healthcare workers. I've received some great feedback from our local hospital community, and there are some important updates and changes we're going to need to make in order for this mask to be something that's useful to them. They've been very great and helpful with their nice positive feedback, so let's take that into consideration and make these changes. Most importantly, the filter material itself needs to be something that's NIOSH-Approved. That's a government agency. It basically makes sure that the filter material is actually going to protect our healthcare workers, and that's important. Secondly, the sizes need to be standardized to something that the nurses, doctors, healthcare workers are already using. Typically they use masks by Kimberly-Clark. That's a major manufacturer, and all the workers, they get fitted for a specific size mask, and they know that way make sure that creates a nice gasket around their face and prevents air from leaking in. Now they're moving to 3M, and most people are getting fitted for those or have already been fitted for them. And so those are the surgical 3M N95 masks, come in sizes ranging from extra small up to extra large. I'll put a little table in the video right here. So yeah, those sizes are something that we're going to want to, after we get this finalized, we're going to want to scale this to match each one of those 3M sizes. So we'll want an extra small, 3D printed file, medium, large, that all correspond. We'll want to put all those files online so people can just download them, print them out, and they'll just be the standardized mask for that, and that way the hospital can give them out as their workers. As if they need a medium-sized mask, they can get one. And then these, they're much better than the normal masks that are out there. It's an important distinction to make. These will not just be a disposable one. The normal N95 ones, they're only supposed to be worn for about 45 minutes, and then their protection really kind of factor diminishes completely, or almost entirely, due to the moisture from the condensation of people's breath and stuff. It really diminishes the effectivity of the filter media. Now these cartridges, they're meant to last for much longer. For example, the 3M ones, they sell a P100 cartridge, which is a little bit, the N95, the N means that it's not suitable for oil-based particulates. The P100 adds a little bit, and the 95 means that it filters out 95% of all particulate matter in the air that's above 0.3 microns in diameter. And the spit and kind of projectile matter that comes out of your mouth when you're talking, that can transmit diseases or viruses like COVID-19, is about 0.5 microns in diameter, so it's too large to pass through the fancy not fancy, but the N95. Then the P, what that stands for is that it's just an added bonus of it can be used with oily particulates. It's unnecessary for COVID-19, but it's also just, if that's what you have, it's better to just be a little bit overprotected. And so these special cartridges, they last for up to 40 hours of use before they need to be replaced, rather than just 45 minutes. So that's great. You take out the cartridge, place it with a new one, you get 40 more hours of use out of that, and you can continually be removing the cartridge if you need to sanitize it, or whatever protocol your hospital has in place. You could develop for just sanitizing the masks themselves. They're made out of plastic, and then they'll have this silicone gasket around here. what I did is, so this is just another thing that they want to make sure, and this goes with the sizing it to the appropriate N95 mask. You want to make sure there's a gasket around your face, and since the PLA is a rigid plastic and it won't bend, and it's like the paper of an N95 mask or the silicone rubber of one of these type of masks. Our previous family business before this was real estate and construction trades, so I did that for about 15 years, and this is one of my masks, and it fits on your face really well, and you can still communicate with people. That was the third comment that, or nice constructive comment from our local hospitals, was that this is going to be used in a healthcare emergency setting where the doctors and nurses, other healthcare workers, they need to be able to communicate with the patients and then with their coworkers and not be misunderstood. It could be disastrous if they misunderstood the dosage or something like that. It would not be good, we'll put it that way. So you can still communicate back and forth. These are meant to be that way. So the filter cartridges with this thing, they'll be the same way. And while this is nice silicone rubber that bends and conforms to your face, the plastic wasn't. So what I would like the community to try to work on developing is a 3D printed mold, or some sort of mold. Maybe someone in the prop industry. I know I follow some YouTube channels that do really cool props and stuff. Maybe they could develop, and they do molds. This seems like something that might be right up their alley. If you 3D printed a mold that people could also download and 3D print themselves, that would allow the people that are making these to just inject this type 2 silicone. It's just, the type 2 means that once it cures, it's completely pure silicone. It doesn't have any volatile organic compounds that leach out of it, so it's good in aquariums and drinkable water. It's also the same type of stuff that they use on scuba masks. So if you could, if we could make something where for each size mask there's a corresponding mold, you just inject the silicone into it, wait for it to cure, and then you can just apply it around the rim of these, giving the end user a nice gasket similar to the effect of this really kind of more expensive. This is about 30 to 35 bucks for one of these, whereas this is just the cost of the filament and your time to do it. So this is much cheaper, and it's something that we can crowdsource, and since it's actually reusable, unlike the paper N95 masks, it's going to last much longer and actually be worthwhile for us to be taking the time to 3D print these and send them to the hospitals. So once we actually get something that's something that hospitals can use, right now they're holding off on wanting these until the designs are more refined. But down the road, it's not looking like COVID-19 is going anywhere. I foresee they're really gonna, the mass shortages are already being felt. So I foresee that this is going to be coming in useful. If we can refine the design and actually get it to be approved as something that's useful by the hospitals, I think it's going to be great. So hopefully, as a kind of a crowd, we can crowdsource these ideas and come up with something that's really suitable and successful for COVID-19, and then also something that'll be an open source 3D printable product for kind of maybe poorer areas all around the world that maybe don't have access to PPE. They'd be able to print this out and have really good equipment that would save a lot of lives and really improve the quality of lives around the world. So hopefully we can do a lot of good here in the short term and then in the long term as well. So I salute everyone for your efforts and thank you for tuning in. We will be in touch soon with more videos and updates. Take care and remember to wash your hands and social distance. And if you know any healthcare workers or people that are out there doing these essential jobs like working at the grocery stores or places like that, gas stations, that type of thing, or delivering your mail, thank them. They're doing a great job and they're all out there putting their lives on the line so that we can continue going on. And just important to think about that and thank them if we see them. So have a good one and we'll be back soon. Take care.